Let's bring out Elon Musk. We've got one more surprise in case this wasn't enough. I'm gonna let Elon do it. Who else is here?
Well, President Milei has a gift for me.
Javier Milei from Argentina. You guys know who that is, right?
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
That's perfect.
All right.
I love it. Mr. President, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Nice to meet you. I love it. We love it.
So,
that was something.
I am become meme. Yeah, pretty much. I'm living the meme. It's like there's living the dream and there's living the meme, and it's pretty much what's happening, you know.
You're like, I think you're bigger.
I mean, Doge started out as a meme. Think about it. And now it's real. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
But it's cool.
Let me ask you this. A year ago, if someone had told you you'd be at CPAC and working with the president to absolutely shred the government, the swamp, whatever you want to call it, would you have ever believed that? No, me neither.
But it's cool. This is awesome. And I just want to say thanks for your support. You guys are, so we're trying to get good things done, but also have a good time doing it. Have a sense of humor. So the left wanted to make comedy illegal. You can't make fun of anything. So there's like, comedy sucks. Nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's legalized comedy.
And we've shifted the entire culture in just the last few months. The whole culture of the country has shifted dramatically just because of that election.
Exactly. Freedom of speech, having fun again. It seems like we should have a good time.
It's a great time. Everybody in this place is so excited. And when you talk to conservatives, everybody's happy. And everybody feels this great sense of relief because we were going to hell for about 4 years. It really felt bad, especially toward the end. It felt really bad.
I thought we were sort of heading for a point of no return, really. That's why it was so essential that President Trump win the election and there be a Republican majority in the House and Senate, which, thanks to you, that has been accomplished.
I want to ask you, one of the biggest questions I have for you is, you've been, politically, you weren't really on one side or the other for a long time. You're a businessman. A lot of people, they stay away from it. Now you're on a side, and you've chosen a side. You're sitting here in a MAGA hat. What's it, how did that happen? What was the moment?
It's a dark, gothic MAGA.
That's a good one. Was there a specific moment? Was there a moment that it all changed?
When I realized I was a fool. But no, I guess I'd say politically neutral for quite a while, leaning a little Democrat.
How do you go from that to this?
Yeah, no.
How does that happen?
Well,
did they go crazy?
Yeah, they did go crazy.
Yeah, they went crazy.
No, that whole cancel culture and it's trying to stop freedom of speech and just in general infringe upon people's personal freedoms. They just want state control of what you say. They want to take away your guns. And the reason they want to take away your guns is nothing you do to oppose them. So it's sort of like we just need to restore the fundamental elements of what made America great, which is freedom and opportunity.
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of these freedoms disappearing in the West. It's not just about America. We're all watching Europe and knowing that they're about 50, 100 years ahead of us, right? Because they got an early start. And we're watching how they're devolving. And you're trying to save it from happening here.
No, in Europe, they put people in prison for memes. That's insane.
And they're collapsing. It's a collapsing society. It feels that way.
It feels like
France was nicer 50 years ago than it is today. I don't think you can question that.
So, but really, thanks. I love you too. I really just wanted to do useful things. Basically build products, provide products and services that are good. And I wasn't really that interested in being political. It just there was at a certain point no choice. So
And I asked you on the same side of that coin, what's it like from going neutral to being vilified, largely vilified by the media?
what? No. Really?
Turn on some of these channels, brother. They're angry at you. Does it bother you at all? Does it get to you?
When they're chanting for my death, I suppose that's a little. But then the song's not even that good, and I said, call that a death chant? That's nothing. Please.
They've been singing a lot lately.
It's not even good music.
There's a lot of music lately. It's not good music either.
Yeah,
I would say that watching what you're doing with Doge is just people love it. I've always looked at the government, and I've seen this big machine and you just know that they waste because they don't care. There's more money coming, they don't care. You're cutting all this out. Everybody in this country knows that the government is full of waste, fraud, and abuse. And you're doing the work, and the Americans love it. Watching their reaction politically to this, I can't believe how bad they are at responding to this. I don't know how you're going to sit there and scream and complain because they're cutting waste out of the government and try to win another election. How do you try to win on that?
Well, at this point, I'm not sure how much of the left is even real.
How much was propped up by our money?
Literally, you see these sort of fake rallies where there's hardly any people, and the media will frame it and get all 6 people in the frame, but it's like nobody else is there. It doesn't have popular support. Then you learn that there's hundreds of billions of dollars going to these so-called NGOs, and it's your tax dollars that are funding things that are fundamentally anti-American.
And they're propping up their narrative.
Yes.
A lot of that government money has been propping up a left that I don't think is as strong as they made it seem.
In fact, a massive amount of your tax dollars is going to legacy media companies directly from the government.
The government wants to take over media.
It's terrible.
That's why we have X. That's why you spent $44 billion, a lot of money. And it was probably worth, but it has a message.
Freedom is priceless.
Yeah. One of the most important investments this country's ever seen. If you got to protect the First Amendment, it's not much more important than that.
Yeah, I got a lot of criticism, and people said, well, that proves he's a huge idiot from voted for whatever, $44 billion, and now it's worth like 8 cents.
It's not worth 8 cents.
but it was essentially to of expression. And
that's all over. It's all over.
Yeah.
It's really quick after that.
Yeah, and sort of federal money going to media companies is what explain why the legacy media all says the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. You put them up where it's like,
they're more of the state.
Yes.
And that's what we've come to know.
Yeah, and I like that being when they're always saying like threat to democracy, but if you just replace democracy with bureaucracy, a lot of big bureaucracy.
That's exactly right. Let's talk about these Doge dividend checks that everybody's talking about this week. And I know you tweeted out that you're going to, does everybody want like a $1 check in the mail? It sounds kind of good, right? And the best part about it would be knowing where it came from, that's grand that you sent them last year.
Totally. It's taken away from that are destructive to the country and organizations that hate you to you. That's awesome.
It seemed like, have you talked to
glorious. That's like just a battle,
Is there traction on that?
Yeah. President, he's supportive of that, and so it sounds like we're due.
Yep.
So we're finding savings. That's going to translate directly to reductions in tax. So.
Yeah. They fired 6,000 people at the IRS today. And Lutnick said last night that they're talking about shutting down the IRS. And I think people should realize this is, money that we send Washington like $5 or $6 trillion a year. That is such an ungodly amount of money. What do they say? Like $1 trillion is like 30 years, something like that. That's how we send them, and they seem to never have enough. There must be a lot you can cut.
No, absolutely. People ask me, what's the most surprising thing that you've encountered when you go to D.C., when you're in D.C.? And I said, well, the most surprising thing is the scale of the expenditures and actually how easy it is to, just with add caring and competence where it was absent before, you can actually save billions of dollars, sometimes in an hour.
Yeah.
And
they scoff at it and say, a few billion here, there. The way they're talking about it, they don't care. It's so little money compared to how much they're used to wasting. That's what's really scary.
It's that they really empathy for the average taxpayer who's working hard, paying taxes, and $1 million doesn't matter. I'm like, I think it's a lot, people,
Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
I'd like to have it. Let me ask you a question. I know them fairly well, watched him survive 2 assassination attempts. Had that happened, the second one would have gotten him. It was, without those extra guys, they would have never seen that gun poking through the fence at the golf course. I saw the crew that
Isn't it
you
like
had.
mind-blowing that this has happened? I mean, it just... By the way, why do we still know nothing about that guy in Butler? What's going on? But Cash is going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, there you go. Confirmed just hours ago. But I saw that the security detail that you had come in is enormous.
Well, it's not that enormous. Maybe it should be bigger. I don't know.
I think you could probably afford it. But I mean, how concerned are you about your safety dealing? I mean, you are a man. Are you nervous?
Look, I'm open to ideas for improving security. I have to tell you. Like, I don't actually have a death wish. I think. But people like President Biden from El Salvador who managed to put in prison like 100,000 like murderous thugs. And he called me. He's like, I'm worried about your security. I'm like, you're worried? I'm like, what? Okay.
That down there. I mean.
Yeah, totally. I was like, put all those thugs in prison without dying, because it seems like that would have been not easy, you know.
Well, there's a president has topics now investigating, I guess, Chuck Schumer for threats against SCOTUS, a congressman, Democrats, who are saying, basically saying war to you, like a fight to you. And the rhetoric, you get through in with things that are not supposed to be messed with. And
we're fighting the Matrix.
There's a lot of people that really don't want that to happen.
Yeah, we're fighting the Matrix big here. But it has got on.
Yeah.
And
it does. What's going on? What about Fort Knox? There's Kentucky. It's a military. It's a ton of gold, tons and tons and tons
like
of gold.
5,000
are there in the ground and like this. I mean, it's a victory.
I don't want to see it.
I'd love to see.
This is your gold, by the way. It's the public's gold.
Do you think it's not there?
I don't know. But I think
you just want to see it.
Yeah, we want to go see it and just make sure like somebody did a spray paint some or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is it at the fight at the bar? You know?
Didn't dent.
But I think, part of this also, like, let's have fun and, gold at Fort Knox. Public's gold. It's your gold. So, like, I think you have, like, a right to see it.
A tour?
Yeah. I think we should do a tour. And last night was like, I think he's in favor of it. That would be cool. And then it should be like a live, like, you can see what's going on, door, like, what's behind it.
Well, and there's...
I think I'd watch that.
Kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, what is gold like? How big is that? Is it the size of?
It's got to be pretty big,
It's got to be a lot of
other stuff in there. Like just walk around. Like I don't know, maybe they got some other stuff in there.
Are you thinking about auditing the reserve as well, which is obviously?
Yeah, sure.
Regulation.
Wow.
Wow.